to God, Guns, and Dogs, everybody. I'm glad you could come and join me today. We have a China problem. Still, again. I mean, look at this. These men here, okay, I want you to look at this. See how they have their hands behind their backs? This guy, him, and they have their bags right in front of them like this. This is military. That's military. That's the way they stand when they're at ease, and that's how they put their bags. This is not refugee. This is not immigrants. This is military men coming here to set up sleeper cells, waiting for Xi Jinping to give the word, and they are going to attack us. They're going to attack our crops, our water, and us. What if they go door to door? What do? We have got to deport. Find these people first, and then we have to deport them. I'm going to play this. This is just insane. Look at that. Look at that. But you see how they're all standing with his hands behind his back? That's military. And he's standing that way. Look at him. Look at them. These are military men. You see? Him. These are military. These are sleeper cell men, see? Look at them all fit. Oh my God, dude. Well, these look like Afghans. Those are terrorists. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, right? Okay, and I'm going to step in real quick and just say something about this right here. She did an interview with Savannah Guthrie, did the interview with Virginia Jeffries, okay, or Giuffre, when the Epstein saga first started. She did the interview, the first interview with Virginia. She kind of put the Epstein thing, pretty much on the map as far as that goes. So I'm thinking this is revenge, that they took her mother for revenge. I really, really do believe that, because it's kind of funny because she's mentioned in the Epstein files. So Chinese nationals have snuck onto sensitive U.S. sites at least 100 times, sparking spying fears. This is unbelievable. Chinese nationals have snuck onto military bases and other sensitive U.S. sites more than 100 times in recent years, sparking federal investigators into possible spying, according to a report Monday. Alarming cases include people crossing into the United States missile range in New Mexico and scuba divers swimming near a rocket launch site in Kennedy Space Center in Florida. What? Some have also used drones to take detailed aerial footage of sensitive military sites, while the Pentagon confirmed cases of people speeding through security checkpoints. Many would be intruders, however, claim to be confused tourists who think they have a reservation on an on-base hotel. That's such a lie. And they often use what appears to be scripted language when confronted by security, the reports have said. God, they're like scumbags. Why won't they leave us the hell alone? They are trying to steal our country. They want our land so they can grow food because they're disgusting communists. Oh my God. Why did we ever let them on the stock market? I will never understand it. Why did we let them on our securities? I do not understand it. Why did we build those people up? Look at what they are doing to us. Now they hold a lot of our medications supply line, a lot of our hospital equipment supply line. This is a tragedy. We have to do something about this big time. Multiple federal agencies, including the Defense Department and FBI and other agencies, held a review last year on how to limit the attempts, which officials told the WSJ are viewed as a form of espionage. Congress might also consider legislation. Representative Jason Crow, a Democrat, told the paper to toughen up how security is handled at the sensitive sites, while trespassing laws currently being state and local, not federal. We need to get the land taken away from them as well that they have bought near military sites. They could put a shed there and take the roof off of this shed and have 1,000 drones that'll swarm all of our military sites at one time while they poison our water and take us off the electric grid. And then they can attack us personally in our neighborhoods. This is something that we have to be extremely concerned about, people. I am serious. This is not a joke. Look at this. So, yeah, I'm thinking that this kidnapping here has something to do with Jeffrey Epstein as well. So, Chinese nationals arrested at top schools, showing how CCP views U.S. universities as a weak link, experts warn. That's how they see us. They see us as a weak link, something that they can use and take advantage of. That's all that this is about. This is not being diplomatic, letting those Chinese spies over here. Every single one of them is a spy. They can't do anything without notifying their master, which is the Communist Party. Communists are deadly. Communists are evil. They're satanic. They care nothing about humanity. They are narcissistic scumbags that care only about themselves. And that is it. A police car patrols the university. At the university level, Dugan told Fox News Digital, fixing this starts with improving the screening process of students from countries whose governments wish to harm us, especially those wishing to study STEM and related fields. Further, through schools must accept this is a national security issue and work with the government on a continued oversight of foreign nationals working in these fields. At the University of Michigan earlier this year, 2 Chinese nationals were charged with allegedly smuggling a dangerous biological pathogen into the country, which was described by some as a potential agri-terrorism weapon. That's our agriculture, our food. Oh my God. This is a tragedy. We have to get these people out of our freaking country and decouple from China in every way. We don't need any of their cheap shit. That's why Trump's bringing all the manufacturing back here. He knows how dangerous this is. Those Chinese are like water. They want to destroy us. We don't care about them. They can't think about anything else except for us. That's what we don't even need to pay rent. We're in their head 24/7. These people are disgusting. China Syndrome Biolabs in California, Las Vegas, raided by FBI, tied to indicted Chinese national. Oh boy, this is not good. Not good at all. Oh, look at this one. This is really bad. Oh my gosh. So I told you in one video before that they are coming over here, getting citizenship, having a baby, so it's a citizen, going back to China, raising it in a communist party, with the Communist Party, educating it communist style, and then bringing that person back here because it was born here, so it's a citizen until we get rid of that stupid law. And then they are voting in our elections against us. We can't have this. And then they're doing surrogates, having surrogates have babies here that the members of the Chinese Communist Party are having the surrogates have their kids here, and then they're going to be destroying our elections and our way of life. We've got a Chinese in a representative state of Texas that we have got to deport. He is a communist, and he is trying to get the minorities to overthrow all the white people that built this country. Americans in America, they're trying to take us down. This is sad. It's a tragedy. It makes me so angry. Inside a closed Los Angeles courtroom, something wasn't right. Clerks working for family court judge Amy Pellman were reviewing routine surrogacy petitions when they spotted an unusual pattern. The same name again and again. A Chinese billionaire was seeking parental rights to at least 4 unborn children, and the court's additional research showed that he had already fathered or was in the process of fathering at least 8 more, all through surrogates. When Pellman called Xu Bong in for a confidential hearing in the summer of 2023, he never entered the courtroom, according to the people who attended this hearing. The maker of the fantasy video games lived in China and appeared via video, speaking through an interpreter. See, he's in China. I told you. They're doing surrogates. So he said that he hoped to have 20 or so U.S.-born children through surrogacy, boys, because they're superior to girls, to one day take over his business. Several of his kids were being raised by nannies in the nearby Irving as they awaited paperwork to travel to China. He hadn't yet met them, he told the judge, because work had been so busy. Pellman was alarmed. According to the people who attended the hearing, surrogacy was a tool to help people build families. But what Zhu was describing didn't seem like parenting, the people said. The judge denied his request for parentage, thank God. Normally quickly approved for the intended parents of a baby born through surrogacy, experts say. The decision left the children he paid for to be born in legal limbo. So what? That is just disgusting. You see what they're doing? Watch this. birth tourism, okay? So this is the surrogacy part that I just showed you, and then this one, how China supercharged birth tourism and scammed American citizenship for up to 1.5 million babies, people. Million. Oh my God, we've got to get these people out of our country. Birth tourism, where pregnant women have their child on American soil to become citizens, has been happening for decades. But Chinese elites have weaponized the practice, says author Peter Schwarzer, raising a generation of legal citizens who have no loyalty to the U.S. in this excerpt from his new book, The Invisible Coup: How American Elites and Foreign Powers Use Immigration as a Weapon. As we sang Auld Lang Syne in the early morning of January 1st, 2025, the first American newborn of the year arrived to much fanfare and celebration. But this time the baby was a prodigy of Chinese citizens, and the mother had intentionally traveled to give birth on American soil so that the child would be automatically granted U.S. citizenship, a practice known as birth tourism. When such children turn 21, they can also apply for resident status for both their parents. Oh, I see. What the hell's going on? This baby was born in U.S. territory of Saipan in the Pacific. More than 70% of the newborns in Saipan are Chinese birth tourist parents who utilize the territory's 45-day visa-free visitation rules and the covenant of the Northern Mariana Islands to guarantee that their children will have American citizenship. Those scumbags. That little child's parents are two of many who are taking advantage of America's birthright citizenship policies based on an interpretation of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, which is not right. We should have never, ever had birthright citizenship. That is not what that amendment says. I don't understand how in the hell they have gotten around the language of that. But all those people that have been granted birthright citizenship in the last 40, 50 years need to be denaturalized immediately, because that was for slaves, not for Chinese, not for Mexicans, not for Indians, and not for any damn Muslims. I'm sick about this. This makes me so angry. Since the U.S. government does not directly track birth tourism, we must rely on estimates. In 2012, one nonprofit calculated that about 36,000 foreign-born women gave birth in the United States and then left the country. They're trying to steal our country. They're trying to steal our land, our birthright, our birth home, our land, our America. We are Americans. Yes, we have Irish. I have Lebanese blood, Great Britain and Irish and Scottish. But guess what? I don't give a shit about any one of those countries. I was born in America. I am an American, and all Americans have more than one nationality. If you have a nationality that is full-blooded anything, you're not an American no matter what. Americans are all mixed, usually from Europe and some from Middle East, but whatever. We don't have one bloodline. We have several bloodlines from all over the world. That is an American citizen. And a lot of our forefathers, like my grandfather on my mother's side, has been here since the early 1900s, okay? My other grandparents came here in 1947 to Ellis Island from Great Britain and from Lebanon. They met, had 6 children, and my father had me. So, I am an American through and through, and that is what an American really is all about. It's a little bit of everything all mixed together, but we were all born and raised here, and so were our fathers and mothers. That is an American. This tourism crap of all these disgusting people coming here from other countries and taking advantage of our system has got to stop, or we are going to lose our country. Chinese birth tourism in the United States has been practiced for decades, but it has especially flourished in the past 15 years. That means that at least 750 and possibly as many as 1.5 million Chinese who are also an American citizen by virtue of being born here are now growing toward adulthood in China. Communist scumbags. Oh my God, what are we going to do? These babies are often the children of elites who have prospered in the communist Chinese system, but they have been suitably indoctrinated into Chinese Communist Party-controlled schools and taught about U.S. values, culture, or history from a distorted CCP perspective. Yet, as citizens, they are eligible to vote in U.S. elections and can relocate to the United States at any time. Based on what little data we have about Chinese to U.S. birth tourism, this tidal wave could hit American society beginning in 2030 when the first baby wave reaches 18 years old. We might call them the Manchurian generation, but it is a story stranger and more lethal than fiction. Another, even more Byzantine and suspicious form of birthright citizenship is the widespread use of surrogate mothers in the U.S. to carry their children of CCP officials. These officials then collect the children at birth and raise them back in China. One such senior Chinese Communist Party official lives in a fortress-like mansion in Southern California when not carrying out his predictable duties as a senior official for the several CCP United Front groups California designated or designed to advance the interest of communism in the United States. He is helping to breed dozens of children in the United States. Ching Chong Wiki Wiki is a slender 65-year-old Chinese businessman, you mean Chinese communist scumbag, who has purchased more than $100 million in California real estate. That needs to be taken back. These Chinese people cannot have our land. Trump, you've got to do something about this, please. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. He has served for decades as a deputy of the something Autonomous Regional People's Congress, meaning communism, a branch of the Chinese Communist government's National People's Congress. In the United States, he serves in senior leadership positions of several organizations controlled by the Communist Party of China and Chinese intelligence services called the United Front Work Department, including the All China Federation of Industry and Commerce, where he serves on the executive committee. Juan has another interest, producing children via surrogacy with women across the U.S. In May 2025, when the 2-month-old infant under his care was hospitalized with head injuries, officials found 15 children living in his $4.1 million Arcadia, California mansion, ranging in age from 2 months to 13 years old. Look at that house. Unbelievable. In total, they found 21 children connected to the CCP member. They were arranged the births of his children through mothers spread throughout the United States. The contracts were made through the Mark Surrogacy Investment LLC, which served as a multi-state embryo pipeline. How disgusting. Surrogates often unaware that others were carrying children for the same couple at the same time. Neighbors saw pregnant women coming and going from the house, which seemed to operate more like a surrogacy command center than a traditional home. Juan is listed as the owner of dozens of companies in California, most of them either investment or real estate firms. He has purchased more than 150 properties in Southern California worth more than $105 million. Oh my God. He is not alone in his surrogacy baby mill. Records in California indicate there are 107 companies with the word surrogacy in the name in the state, all owned by Chinese individuals. No one in the Irvine, California neighborhood noticed anything unusual until one day a forklift delivered a huge pile of diapers to a nondescript apartment building. The delivery was to a business run by 2 Chinese nationals called UN USA. It quietly occupied 20 apartments in a suburban complex and discreetly hosted pregnant Chinese women so they could give birth to their children on U.S. soil. This is a travesty. This is like nasty dogs coming here to breed. This makes me sick. UN USA charged its customers between $40,000 and $80,000 for its services, which included helping Chinese parents avoid detection by U.S. Customs and Border Protection when entering the country. They instructed the women to wear loose-fitting clothing to hide their pregnancies. They were also instructed to steer clear of certain American ports of entry with tighter security. It is better to fly into Las Vegas or Honolulu before heading to Los Angeles Airport, where the screening of international flights is stricter. Some Chinese mothers checked into the Trump International Hotel in Honolulu and spent the night so they could show customs officials the hotel receipt and demonstrate their wealth and status. Chinese parents were also instructed to lie on their visas, that is, to declare that they were simply tourists visiting the United States for 30 days of travel with no planned medical procedures. Once the Chinese mothers to be arrived safely in Los Angeles, UN USA put them in apartments and provided them with pre-birth medical care. Chinese birth tourism companies tout the fact that the Southern California hospitals like Fountain Valley Regional Medical Center have Chinese doctors and bilingual nursing staff to provide you with comprehensive care. How disgusting. When it comes time to give birth, UN USA took the mothers to Orange County, California, which was where I was born, hospitals, and told them to lie again, declaring that they were indigenous and unable to pay the full cost of medical expenses. These wealthy Chinese clients would then get reduced rates, paying only $4,000, sometimes less when the normal cost is $25,000. More than 400 Chinese babies were born in one Orange County medical facility over 2 years, costing the hospital nearly $1 million in lost revenue. Blah, blah, blah. A Chinese national who lived in Irvine and ran UNUSA pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit immigration fraud. Good. And one measly court count of visa frauds. If you lie or encourage other people to lie on their visa application, you are committing visa fraud. She was sentenced to less than 1 year in prison. Lee's disregard for the United States is telling. When communicating with Chinese clients from California, they refer to the U.S. immigration authorities as the foreigners. Are you kidding me? So we're the foreigners in our own country now? I can't even express my hatred for those people. I cannot stand them. I want them out of our country. Oh my gosh. We need to start, the Super Bowl was so racist against us. I've never seen such blatant racism. Those Democrats are disgusting. They're the most racist people I've ever met in my life. Who comes to a country and speaks in another language during an American football halftime show? These people make me sick. I swear to God, I am so sick of this un-American, anti-white sentiment in our country. Where are we supposed to go? Just leave somewhere, go somewhere else, live somewhere else. This is our country. This is where we were born and raised. What are we supposed to do? You think these people can come here and just take over? I cannot believe this is happening. We have got to stop this. We've got to make a stand. We've got to start calling our congressmen and senators and telling them to pass these laws to get these Chinese and these scuzzlums out of our country. I'm serious, dude. We have got to take control. This birth tourism, I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous that we are putting up with those people coming here, lying, scheming, scamming, stealing, fraud, just left and right, lying on their visas, having babies. No, we've got to denaturalize every single one of them because the 14th Amendment does not say that you could come here and have a baby. I don't know where in the world we fell off the having the rules of life, but let's listen to this and see what they say here.
On the U.S. territory of Guam. And now China is going as far as to flip the blame on the U.S. An embassy spokesperson claiming the U.S. must stop using cyber weapons to carry out espionage and cyber attacks around the world. Here with his insight, Fox News senior strategic analyst and retired four-star General Jack Keane. Good morning, General.
Yeah, good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. What's your reaction?
In the most comprehensive cyber operations against the United States, both inside our country and certainly at our military bases around the world. And Guam, right there in the middle of the Indo-Pacific theater, is a prime target for them. And so our viewers understand, if we ever got in a war with China, where our ships, airplanes, rockets, and missiles and troops are involved with theirs in a conventional fight, China would attack our homeland quite massively using cyber capability to defeat our electric grid, our oil and gas distribution, even our financial sector, to try to defeat us at home as much as defeat us in the Pacific region. Now, the one hedge against all of what I just said in terms of the offensive cyber.
Do you see the way they look? Their faces? They all look the same.
To do the
it's
same
weird.
To them is
they're all show. They've never even been in a fight. We just got to get rid of that guy right there. Needs to go. He needs to be gone under the ground where he belongs.
Which we have. We should not be surprised at how aggressive they are. We have thousands of people involved in this ourselves. They literally have hundreds of thousands committed every single day to penetrate the United States of America in our homeland and around the world.
And I know we're expanding our military presence in Guam as well. Biden has nominated General C.Q. Brown for the Joint Chiefs Chairman to replace General Mark Milley, who is retiring in October. Do you know this general? What do you know about him?
Well, General Brown's got an extraordinary reputation. His mantra as Chief of Staff of the Air Force has been right on the money. Accelerate change or lose, facing the reality of what we're facing, particularly with China, to a lesser degree with Russia. And he's been transforming the Air Force to deal with the reality of what we're facing in the Indo-Pacific region. And he served just recently in that region prior to becoming Chief of Staff, where he knows all of our allies players in the region. So I think that probably personal attributes and his reputation for change and the common sense that he seems to have when he's dealing with his own people in terms of troops and we're facing.
All right, I don't know what's going on with the audio there, but you get the drift. This is see, we used to have the China Exclusion Act of 1882 here, and it kept them from becoming citizens. It kept them from, because we used them, we let them come over here and help us with the railroad, and it was keeping them out because they're like water. They're like ants, I mean, they just steal, lie, cheat, spy. That's all they do. Every single ship they have looks exactly like ours. Every plane they have looks exactly like ours. They come here to steal from us because they're not smart enough to come up with it themselves. So they're trying to take it from us. So are the Scuzzlums. Why did we let any of these people in? The Indians, India, we don't need to let any of them in because they're coming in here trying to take over too. Scuzzlums, they are disgusting. They are pedophile. They worship a pedophile that married a 6-year-old little baby. Scum. And you've got these Chinese that need to get out of our country, trying to come here and take over. What the hell? I know everything we have is great. They can't ever be us. What are they going to do if they take over? Everything's going to fall apart and go away because they don't know how to build it. They don't know how to maintain it. What are they going to do? We build all of it. This is our country that we built, not for scumbags to come over here and take it from us. We are not going to let that happen. We are not going to let that happen. And I wish that they would get barred from citizenship. The Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 went beyond immigration and declared all Chinese immigrants, regardless of how long they had lived in the U.S., ineligible for naturalization and citizenship, creating a permanent class of aliens. Good. We need to go right back to first and only major U.S. federal law to prohibit immigration for a specific nationality, explicitly banning Chinese laborers from entering our country. Yes. Oh my gosh. Act of 1882 established a foundation for future restrictive immigration policies and fueled decades of anti-Asian racism and violence. Good. I'm glad. I want more violence against them. I want them out of our country. No citizenship. They need to get the hell out of our country. Why did it get repealed in 1943? I do not know, but it needs to be put right back on the books. We've got to get the Indian people out of here, not the Native Americans from India, those people. The Scuzzlums from the Middle East and these Chinese have got to get the hell out of our country. Don't forget to subscribe and like this channel. I'm glad you guys came to see me this evening, and I will see you on the next video.